It's Monday, January 25th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you the region's latest news. Mike Suppy joins us later today with sports, and Donald Ang, of course, takes a look back on this day in history. But first, the big news over the weekend was the blizzard. Many were digging out yesterday following Saturday's snowstorm, the first significant snowfall of the season. As you can see, a homeowner clearing off their roof in Monroe. According to the Connecticut Department of Transportation, the final snow totals in the area, New Canaan saw about 15 inches, Darien just shy of 14, New Haven 12.5 inches, Milford at 11, as well as Danbury only 7.5, Waterbury about 7.5, and Meriden about 6.5. So we were definitely harder hit in this area. But for the most part, by Sunday, folks were out enjoying the snow, as you can see in some of these photos posted on our HAN Network community news sites. On Saturday, Easton fire officials had responded to a report of a person that had fallen through the ice on Deerfield Road, but the fire chief there said he was happy to report that when they responded, everyone was safe and no one was in the water. Good news there. Today's forecast mostly sunny with a high near 34 degrees. Wind chill values between 20 and 30 with a light and variable wind. But by Tuesday, things are going to get warmer. Some of that snow is going to be melting. There will be a high of 42 expected tomorrow. So things are warming up, which is some good news. And fortunately, no injuries were reported in a scary accident Sunday morning when a Metro North train collided with a snowplow, first reported by WFSB. The plow got stuck on a crossing at Riverbend Drive, part of the New Canaan branch. The driver was not in the plow at the time. The Metro North train was carrying no passengers at that time. The train was able to pull into the Stamford station, and there were no service delays. In Bridgeport over the weekend, an Old Town Road home was broken into Saturday by 3 armed men who pistol whipped the 3 Sacred Heart University students living there and stole cell phones, jewelry, and watches. Police were called to the Old Town Road residence at about 5 in the evening after the home's occupants reported the home invasion. Police said 3 male suspects forced their way through the front door and assaulted the occupants with a handgun. 1 shot was fired in the finished basement. The downstairs area was ransacked by the suspects, who police described as dressed in dark clothing with 2 wearing black and orange ski masks. The 3rd suspect was described as light-skinned male, possibly Hispanic, with long curly hair, and he had his face covered. 2 students were transported to St. Vincent's Hospital suffering from some minor head lacerations. The crime scene was photographed, and 1 .40 caliber shell casing and 1 spent bullet fragment was recovered. The home invasion remains under investigation, according to police. And in Monroe, a suspected purse snatcher is facing multiple charges after police said he caused a ruckus in Big Y on January 15th. According to reports, store security spotted the man, later identified as 28-year-old Andrew DeLeo of East Haven, wandering the store. DeLeo had been identified as the suspect in a purse snatching at the Branford Big Y, and police were called in to investigate. Officers approached DeLeo and reported that he attempted to flee, pulling down displays in the aisles as he ran through the store into the warehouse, where he was taken into custody. Police also reported that DeLeo drove to the store in a stolen car. DeLeo was charged with 3rd-degree criminal mischief, breach of peace, interfering with an officer, and using a vehicle without the owner's permission, as well as possession of drug paraphernalia. His bond was set at $10,000, and he was turned over to the New Haven Correctional Center for a violation of parole. And in Fairfield, 22-year-old Jeffrey Karen of Skytop Drive was arrested Thursday in connection with a fiery single-car accident last December. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that Karen was charged on a warrant with driving under the influence and failure to drive right. According to the report, Karen was driving west on Congress Street when he drove off the roadway, hitting 2 walls and a tree. When officers arrived, the front of the car was engulfed in flames, but Karen was found out of the car and on the ground. At first, he told officers there were 3 passengers in the car, and firefighters searched the car and surrounding woods, but could not find anyone, police said. Karen later told police that he was alone in the car, according to the report. And a man who didn't clean the snow off his roof landed in bigger trouble early Sunday morning in New Canaan. On January 24th at about 2 in the morning, an officer was on patrol on Cherry Street when he observed a vehicle with a large amount of snow on the top of it and obstructing the view of the rear window. The officer stopped the vehicle for failure to remove the snow, and upon speaking with the driver, 23-year-old Keith Gelman of Norwalk, the officer detected the odor of alcohol. Field sobriety tests were administered, and based on Gelman's performance, probable cause was established to arrest him. He was charged with driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol and failure to remove the snow from his vehicle. He was released on a $250 bond with a court date set for February 9th. And if you've noticed helicopters in the skies recently, it might be Eversource. This month, as part of what they say is an ongoing effort to strengthen the power grid and increase reliability, Eversource will be surveying its transmission lines with high-resolution cameras in Darien, Greenwich, Norwalk, Stamford, and Westport. Photographs collected during these flights will help build a more detailed record of structure, lines, and other electrical equipment, which the company says will increase the efficiency of maintaining the electric system in Connecticut. All flights are weather permitting, and most take place between the hours of 7 in the morning and dusk. The helicopter assigned to the project is black with a registration number of N175JL. And leaders from area nonprofits will be participating in a community forum to discuss the impact of General Electric moving its headquarters to Boston, Massachusetts. The public and nonprofit advocates are invited, which will run from 10 a.m. to noon at Sacred Heart University's Mattire Center. State Senator Tony Wong will moderate the forum. The forum will focus on local philanthropy and how to mitigate the effects of GE's departure. Nearly every local charitable organization has a GE employee on its board of directors, and the company matches 50% of employees' individual contributions to charity. But we are going to switch gears right now, step out for a quick break. When we come back, Donald Ang takes a look back on this day in history. Mike Suppy joins us to give us the latest sports news, and we have some more headlines coming up on your coffee break after this.
Had a sports injury that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist quickly. Their highly trained orthopedic professionals expertly treat you without an appointment. Skiing, snowboard, or sports accident, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk. Call 203-845-2070 or coastalorthoexpress.com. Find them on Facebook at Coastal Ortho CT.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
In Pound Ridge since 1993, the Wine Connection is one of America's best wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service. With wonderful values from around the world to collectibles for your cellar, we are your one-stop source. Visit our online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss all the action at the Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester Avenue, Pound Ridge, New York.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network.
And we're back on this Monday, January 25th edition of your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. It's time to throw it over to Donald Eng with a look back on this day in history. Check it out.
A day many people dream about, punctuated by music from A Midsummer Night's Dream. But first we go to 1971. Charles Manson and 3 members of the Manson family are found guilty in the 1969 Tate LaBianca murders. Manson was sentenced to death, but that sentence was later commuted to life in prison. He has since been denied parole 12 times, and he'll be eligible to apply again in 2027 when Manson will be 92 years old. To 1996 we go. Billy Bailey becomes the last person to be hanged in the United States, 1996. He had been convicted of armed robbery and dual murder in 1980. By the time of his execution, Delaware had changed their method of executing people to lethal injection, which Bailey rejected, saying he would not allow the government to put him to sleep. Delaware hadn't actually hung a prisoner in 5 decades, and they turned to Holocaust denier Fred Luchter, a capital punishment device designer, for a proper protocol. The gallows were then erected and dismantled in 2003, after the last prisoner eligible to request hanging died of natural causes. 2003, in the build-up to the invasion of Iraq, a group of people leave London, England for Baghdad to serve as human shields. They intended to prevent the US-led coalition forces from bombing certain locations. Though acknowledging that Saddam Hussein was a brutal, murderous dictator, the volunteers hoped to deploy to hospitals and schools in Baghdad to deter coalition bombings of those buildings. Most of these human shield volunteers left the country before the fighting began, citing conflict with Iraqi authorities over which sites they would go to, and, ironically, concerns about their safety. A bit unclear on the concept of human shields. And now we go to 1858, where the world heard this. Of course, the Wedding March by Felix Mendelssohn. It was first played at the marriage of Queen Victoria's daughter, Victoria, and Frederick of Prussia, and becomes a popular wedding recessional afterwards. It was originally written as part of Mendelssohn's suite of incidental music to go with Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. The Queen, big Mendelssohn fan, the organ he played it on is actually still in use at St. Anne's Church in Tottenham. That is your look back in history, and I am Donald Eng.
All right, well now it is time to throw it over to Mike Suppy, who's filling in for Rob Adams today with local sports. Mike.
Thanks, Kate. Well, we're going to go back to Friday night because mostly everything on the docket Saturday was canceled due to inclement weather. On Friday night, a battle of FCIAC unbeatens took place at Trumbull High School between the host Eagles and Danbury High. Trumbull earned a 62-51 win over the Hatters, who fell to 8-1 overall, 5-1 in the FCIAC. J.J. Foll and Johnny McElroy led the charge with 11 points apiece for Trumbull, 9-1, 6-0 in the FCIAC, while Chris Lyons added 10, and Jack Moore and Eddie Giovannini chipped in with 8 points apiece. Scott Nesbitt scored a game-high 20 points for the Hatters, while Marcus Fox notched 12 markers. In another key FCIAC clash, broadcast by the HAN Network, Stanford High slammed Trinity Catholic 69-52.
As we get ready for the snowflakes to fly, basketballs will fly inside of Stanford High School. Hi again, everyone. I'm Rob Adams. Welcome to high school boys basketball on the HAN Network. 5-0 run to start for the Crusaders all the way across. Here's Lavaris for 3. That's an answer. 5-3, and the Black Knights on the board. To the left side, Moisey
Goes back up top for Lucas. Lucas fakes on the 3, swings left, goes over to Moisey again. Moisey's going to pull up for the 3 and hit.
Stone cold out of Moisey, looking his opponent right in the eye and draining.
Giancarlo Marte wide open. Both St. John and Harding had the opportunity to pass to him and couldn't get it.
The quick inbound comes in and it's thrown up and off glass by Galgano. He has 5. It's 21-15. Leans in, throws it up, it won't fall. Rebounded by DeVito. DeVito, the quick chest pass, brings it down. Lavaris, a 3. It's good!
Lavaris getting happy in his happy place with that three-point shot.
And turned right back over off the fingertips of Jacketin. They'll bring it over. Here's Lavaris for 3. Bang!
He's not going to miss those, Rob. And Cato, I got to concur with you. I don't really think anybody's going to miss that shot from the corner.
Marte across the line, swings left. DeVito, a deep 3. That's good!
Jay DeVito gets lost out on the arc in the Trinity defense. Marte picks him up. DeVito recognized it and called for the ball.
They'll swing right for DeVito. DeVito for 3. That's good!
DeVito catches the pass off the screen from after screen on Marte, able to get position and an open look at the three-point.
Sent over. Lavaris, a 3. Oh, that's a dagger! (57-45), a 30-second timeout with 4:58 to go. With Blake down to 7. Blake will drive, floater, no good, tipped, and taken back by Marte, who will hold it with 1, and this one's over.
Okay, so you saw the highlights there. In other FCAC boys basketball action, Fairfield Ludlow topped Wilton 59-52. McMahon dumped Central 77-50. West Hill outlasted New Canaan 58-52 in overtime. Girls basketball matchups in the FCAC, it was Wilton over Ludlow 54-41. West Hill clipped New Canaan 43-29. Stanford belted Trinity Catholic 77-40, and it was Trumbull dropping Danbury 50-24. In other basketball scores in the area on the boys' side, Shelton High won at Cheshire High for the first time in 10 years with a 70-64 victory. It was the 3rd victory in a row for the Gales, who improved to 6-5 overall. Staying in the SEC, Law fell to Guilford High 56-43, while Foreign lost a 57-47 decision to East Haven. Over in the SWC, it was Notre Dame of Fairfield beating Massac 72-64. Bunnell took down Newtown 61-48. And Weston High, they earned their first victory of the year with a 43-42 triumph over host Stratford High. Finally, on Friday night in boys ice hockey, Ridgefield clobbered Wilton 10-1. Tonight, going back to the hardwood, in the FCAC, there's a bunch of non-league girls games. Ludlow is at Harding at 5:15. St. Joe's is at Laurelton Hall at 7 p.m. Norwich Free Academy travels to Wilton for a 7 o'clock tip. Boys ice hockey, it's Trumbull at New Canaan at 6 p.m. Ridgefield at Staples West and Shelton at 7. St. Joe's at Ward Ludlow at 8:15. Over on girls' side, Ludlow is at Stanford at 4. And Notre Dame of Fairfield is at Trumbull at an 8:30 p.m. drop of the puck. And that's all I got, Kate. Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much, Mike. And we should say the HAN Network will be broadcasting that girls' ice hockey game when Notre Dame Fairfield takes on Trumbull. So check that out, 8:30 tonight. But getting back to a little more news today, Reading resident Joe Brandt, who's a jewelry expert and writes the Jewelry Box column for the HAN Network's home section, and Reading Police Chief Douglas Fuchs got together last week to give their opinions on keeping jewelry safe in Reading homes following a rash of burglaries. Brandt says in almost any burglary, time is a crucial factor. The more time a thief spends in a house, the greater the chances are that he'll be caught. Your job in protecting valuables is to make them as difficult for crooks to find as possible. For example, a woman's jewelry box is often the highest item on the thief's shopping list, and 95% of the time it's in the same place, the bedroom. Chief Fuchs said that limiting the amount of time one can spend in your home searching is important. This can be done by what police call target hardening. Target hardening is making it more difficult for the burglar to find your valuables. Hide and secure your valuable jewelry in a safe if possible, and have an alarm system which notifies an alarm monitoring service and subsequently the police. While loud alarms in part are meant to scare or deter the potential burglar, they more importantly first limit the amount of time during which a burglar can accumulate your property. The police say remember to keep alarms in good working order. The Reading Police Department responds to hundreds of false alarms each year, the vast majority of which could have been avoided. However, there's a lot more tips on how to protect your home and your valuables on thereadingpilot.com, so check that out. We're going to step out for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break, coming up after this.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
You are watching the HAN network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network. You are watching
Your coffee break on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and if you caught any of our Stormcast on Saturday, you saw some of the videos captured around the region as the first significant snowfall hit the area. Many, of course, were digging out yesterday following Saturday's storm. According to the Connecticut Department of Transportation, some of those final snow totals: New Canaan saw 15 inches, Darien just shy of 14, New Haven 12.5 inches, Milford 11, Danbury only about 7.5, and Meriden 6.5. So definitely this area, southwestern Connecticut, the hardest hit. For the most part, by Sunday, folks were out enjoying the snow, as you can see in some of these photos captured and posted on our HAN Network community news site. Things will be warming up this week, so we can expect some of that snow to be on the way out. Tomorrow, a high of 42 degrees expected, so we'll see what happens, but it was nice everyone got to have some fun out in the snow. And in some other news today, fortunately, no injuries were reported in a scary accident Sunday morning when a Metro North train collided with a snowplow, as first reported by WFSB. The plow got stuck on a crossing at Riverbend Drive, part of the New Canaan branch. The driver was not in the plow at the time, and thankfully, no passengers were aboard the Metro North train. The train was able to pull into the Stamford station, and there were no service delays. In Bridgeport, an Old Town Road home was broken into Saturday by 3 armed men who pistol whipped the 3 Sacred Heart University students living there and stole cell phones, jewelry, and watches, according to police. Police were called to the Old Town Road home at about 5 in the evening after the home's occupants reported the home invasion. Police said the 3 male suspects forced their way through the front door and assaulted the occupants with a handgun. 1 shot was fired. The downstairs area was ransacked by the suspects, who police described as dressed in dark clothing, with 2 wearing black and orange ski masks. The 3rd suspect was described as a light-skinned male, possibly Hispanic, with long curly hair, and he had his face covered. 2 students were transported to St. Vincent's Hospital suffering from head lacerations. That home invasion continues to be under investigation. And in some other news, State Representatives Gail Lavielle and Tom O'Day will join State Senator Tony Boucher to host a Coffee with Your Legislators event in Wilton at Orem's Diner. The legislators will offer residents an update on legislative activity, answer questions about state issues, and listen to their concerns about the community. Coffee with Your Legislators will be held from 8 to 9 in the morning on Tuesday, January 26th at Orem's Diner, which is located at 167 Danbury Road. Anyone who is unable to attend but would like to speak with Lavielle or O'Day can reach them. You can get their contact information at wiltonbulletin.com. And in a cool story from the Weston Forum, Christine Perrain of Weston has been named a General Class Falconer. After 2 years as an apprentice class falconer, she recently passed a field test issued by Lori Fortin from the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection and Master Class Falconer Station Novi to earn her General Class Falconer status. Falconry is a sport of hunting with falcons or other birds of prey and the keeping and training of such birds. To earn her status, Peregrine acquired a wild raptor, Theron, a red-tailed hawk, and spent 2 seasons training him to be her hunting partner. You can get more on that story at thewestonforum.com. But we're going to wrap things up on this Monday edition of your coffee break. Of course, coming up at 2 o'clock, Nutmeg Sports. Rob will be here for that. And as we said, girls ice hockey tonight live on the HAN network. Check that out. Have a great Monday, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.